Hello everybody, this is The Last Raider, and we are back with another video. And we should all be celebrating today because game journalists have finally managed to get what they want. It took some emotional blackmail, but they have finally gotten their game's journo mode within a video game today. Give them some applause for their SJW stupidity. But let's start jumping right in on this IGN model where they celebrate getting their quote-unquote game's journo mode without actually calling it a game's journo mode. Phyconauts 2 to feature an invincibility toggle, as all people should be able to enjoy games. See this emotional blackmail right here. Oh, we want everyone to play games. You're not a bigot, are you? You're not a bigot who doesn't want everyone to play games. That's why we need this invincibility mode. It's not the fact of the people who are reviewing games on YouTube are actually better at playing the games than y'all are and can actually beat the tutorial mode in Cuphead or the first level in, Doom Eternal, IGN and Polygon. Y'all can't do that. But let's jump into this article, shall we? Double Fine has revealed that Phyconauts 2 will feature an invincibility toggle, as it believes that all people should be able to enjoy games. Double Fine shared this bit of news on Twitter in response to Xbox Twitter saying that beating the game on the lowest difficulty is still beating the game. And yes, this is true. If you beat the game on the lowest difficulty, you have beaten the game. If you beat the game with no difficulty and there's no penalty, you've not beaten the game. Even on easy mode, there is a penalty that's put in. That's what makes a game fun. There's a penalty to it. There's a risk and reward. By playing the game, you could win. You could also lose. Putting invincibility in a game takes the lose aspect out of it. At that point, it's nothing more than a $60 movie. Just imagine people actually playing COD fighting one of the bosses in Black Ops 3 and just not even running or dodging or taking cover. They're just standing in the middle of the map just shooting the boss because eventually, with their very basic gun that hasn't had any modifications to make it a beast, yeah, they're not going to, it's not going to make the game enjoyable. At this point, why put any features in the game whatsoever? Just have the person walk through and just watch what happens. It's basically going to turn this is going to turn Psychonauts into a walking simulator immediately. But continuing on. If you beat Psychonauts 2 with the invincibility toggle on, you still beat Psychonauts 2, Double Fine wrote. No, you don't. Because like I said, you're not having a penalty anymore. And that's what makes a game, is the penalty. The possibility that you could fail. Double Fine's not going to give you the possibility of failure. You are just going to run in there, run through the game real quick, or just walk through whatever you do beating the bosses. You're just going to beat them fairly easily. Because, hey, why should you worry about dodging? Why should you worry about running? There's no challenge to this game. That's, what is it? Happy Hour with Battlefield Friends, where it's got the admin. And the admin sitting there just banning people one right after the other. And it's like, we got a helicopter bearing down. He's like, oh, really? Banned! And bans the helicopter guy. Then some guy comes up and they're getting shot. He goes, oh yeah, I can get rid of them. Banned, I took care of it. And he sits back and goes, ha, this game's so damn easy. And it's like, really? I mean, it's a joke in Happy Hour, mind you. Battlefield Friends made a joke about it, but fuck me. That's about what this is going to be. It's going to be, oh, this game's so easy. See, I beat it on invincibility mode. Well, here's the thing, Double Fine. No one's going to know whether you have skilled players or not because everybody can beat it on easy mode. So it's not going to be considered a challenge. I doubt even streamers would stream this thing. I think they're going to sit back and go, people are going to say, well, you playing it on invincibility mode. They're going to be like, no, man, I'm not playing invincibility mode. This knocks you out of so much stuff. But anyway, continuing on, as Double Fine shoots himself in the foot, they try to emotionally validate themselves. All people should be able to enjoy games. All ages, all possible needs. Bigotry of low expectations, folks. Bigotry of low expectations. They don't believe that everyone can play a game and they need an invincibility mode. If you are disabled, okay, if you have a disability, if you're a young kid, you should be insulted by this. Because they're basically saying you need the most, you need to have a game where there's no way you can lose in order for you to be able to enjoy it. It is, they're basically equating you, what is it, that meme where the guy tackles the retarded kid? Like, there's a kid, he's got mental difficulties, they're just letting him run down the field up until the point where some douchebag runs out there on the field, just tackles him and slams him into the ground. Everything up until that point is what they think you need to get down the field. If you are disabled, if you are colorblind, if you are deaf, if you have a physical ailment, or if you are a young kid, you need to play the game in such a way that they think you need to be like a Down syndrome child on a football game. Who's a part of Make-A-Wish. I want to win a touchdown. And so the entire team is just cheering him on as he goes down the field. And we all know what's going on. It's just so this kid can have the moment. That's it. But it's not because kid. That's the level of skill they expect you to have. You're not supposed to be able to play this game. And we're fighting the gatekeepers is keeping you out. In reality, there's a dude that plays Halo, I know, who has only one arm. Okay? If a one-armed dude can play Halo and be professional at it, you don't need an invincibility mode. But like I said, this is not for disabled people. This is the disabled people, quote, the young kids, this is the excuse to getting the game's journo mode so that games journals won't get made fun of for having a game's journo mode because they're actually the retarded children who can't make a touchdown in real life. Okay? And I'm not getting bad on people who are retarded. I have a mom that's worked in that system. Those people have a difficulty. They're truly disabled. But you've got people that are using disabled people to justify their inability. Okay? I can make a bedroom joke about this, but I'm not going to, because I will get banned off YouTube, effective immediately. Anyway, continuing on. The studio also shared a satirical quote that pokes fun at those online who try to gatekeep games and say not everyone should play a game. No, the quote is not everyone should play a game. The quote is not everyone can play a game. Should implies that these people can play a game, but nobody wants them to. Not everyone can play a game. Okay? And like I said before, you can look at, there's a video on a games journal. Just look up Games Journal Plays Cuphead tutorial mode, and you'll see that no, not everybody can play a game. Okay? Not everybody has developed the skill needed to play a game. Now, is that saying that they can't ever play the game? No. That's saying that they don't have the skill right now to play it. They should try. I mean, video games are fun to play. Also a good way of relieving stress, but continuing on. This is their quote, their little straw man they put up. Excuse me, I beat Sword Guy serious time on a no-hit hard mode. Honestly, who talks like this on here? And if didn't do that, I don't respect you. And like, can you even comment on things if you're not Diamond 6 rank and Shooty McBlam? I don't think so. The quote reads. And this is just pretty much the most basic of straw men when it comes to gatekeeping. When they want to say gatekeeping in video games or anything like that, they try to make it out. I did a video on a Pepper Ann comic a while back, which Pepper Ann envisions people doing this. In reality, are there douchebags in games? Yeah. But there's a lot more you are going to find in video games. I have run into some douchebags, but I've got more guys that I can regularly play with anytime I want, who are pretty much the nicest people on the planet. And they don't even live in the same area that I live in. One of the things that I learned about with video games, one of the most important life lessons I learned with online gaming, was that you cannot judge a person by where they come from. I've got one dude that I play with who lives in New York, another guy who I play with who lives in Tennessee. I've played with guys in Canada. I've played with guys down in Brazil. I've played with the Japanese, The Chinese, when they were allowed to be on the online, I've played with France. I played with one or two people. I played with one chick in Iran who was playing while her dad was out at work. Okay, that was fun. She would bleep off lines sometimes just at random, and we all figured out eventually that her dad was coming home, and if she was caught doing something like that, that's real misogyny right there in Iran. But nobody will talk about Iran's misogyny because that just doesn't exist. But I have talked to people who have dealt with real misogyny, real homophobia, and stuff like that in some countries that ban it. And I've learned something over the years. It doesn't matter where you come from. There are good Russian people. There are shitty Russian people. There are good British people. There are shitty British people. There are good people in the Americas. And, we've got plenty of assholes and don't need any more. This nonsense of, there's going to be gatekeeping in gaming. No, you're looking at only the bad people, saying that is the majority, and not seeing all of the good relationships. The gaming community would not survive if it was full of nothing but douchebags. It would not do it. You would not have a multi-million-dollar, almost billion-dollar industry if everybody was a fucking douche all the time. Would not happen. But this is the SJWs out here trying to use a straw man to get what they want yet again. Continuing on here. In response to the fake quote, that's what it was fake, and to emphasize the point, Double Fine added, "Cool, bud, you're so cool." Which is the concept of, look, we made this horrible looking dude and now we've kind of ignored them because they're so pointless. I can't tell you how many times I've jumped onto an MMO or jumped onto even COD, and some person would sit on there and say, "Dude, you having trouble?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having trouble with this one boss." "Dude, try this out. Try this build. Here, let me get you this weapon, and we'll give you a build, and that'll help you out." Gamers tend to help each other out because they want more people to play. They don't. When you get a friend on there that you've wanted on a game of yours, that it's always this moment of, "Hey, look, we're doing this, we're doing that. This does this does that," and they're running you through the crash course of the game, getting you going on it. And anytime you talk about it, you're like, "I can't remember how to make this." "Oh yeah, it's this over here, man. It's over in this chest. We got a whole bunch of it." If you're playing like a survival sim or something like that, this nonsense here. They're basically trying to use gatekeeping as a reason for this games journal mode because, the gatekeepers are keeping out all the disabled people. Yet once again, put it to you like this, like in Gamergate when hashtag Not Your Shield showed up. And hashtag Not Your Shield was a bunch of chicks and different ethnicity people and even homosexuals were coming out and saying, because what happened was game journals got caught doing something, so then they tried to use this same concept. There's gatekeeping in the gaming community, and we're game journals are out there fighting it, and that's why they're doing this nonsense. We're fighting sexism, homophobia, and racism in gaming, and everyone, a bunch of different ethnicity people come out and use hashtag Not Your Shield. And I remember this one girl on there. She said, "Look, I am a lesbian, I am black, and I have never faced bigotry in the gaming community. I play with straight dudes all the time and straight women, and they think I'm cool. So no, you're not going to use me as your shield for your fucking ideology just so you can look good in someone else's lives, or so you can tell a lot of gamers off and tell them that they're evil. My friends are not evil." I remember when that happened during Gamergate. And that's what got me into Gamergate, and that's what got me to watching Gamergate and watch what happened, and ultimately what got me into Comicsgate afterward and fighting on that fight line and starting this channel, because that is the nonsense that these lefties push. They never come out and honestly tell you what they're doing. They're never honest about it. "We want games journals mode," and everyone kind of makes fun of them over it because they can't play games. Well, they get embarrassed. They're like, I'll make it about race. I'll make it about sexism. I'll make it about this. And then all y'all be bigots. And they actually think like this. And that's what they're doing right now. And they've emotionally blackmailed a company into doing this nonsense. Think about that. Here's IGN finishing up their little article here. And it's funny how they finish it up. "This debate on game difficulty has been an ongoing one for years now, but the truth of the matter is that difficulty is relative to individual players in so many ways. By adding an invincibility toggle to Phyconauts 2, this in no way impacts the player who wants to play on the hardest difficulty. It only allows more players to enjoy a game that just may become their next favorite of all time. No, they're not playing a game on invincibility toggle. You are not doing this for other gamers. You are doing this so that you can get more games. You can just whip through a game real quick because you really don't want to play the game. And you are using disabled people, you're using kids to try and push the narrative so that you don't look like you don't know what you're talking about. Because in this industry, the actual people who play the games are not reading your articles most of the time. Like, the only reason I'm reading this article is because I'm looking for stuff to hammer SJWs with right now, to make fun of you morons with, and I'm getting what I want out of it. I'm as muck a player saying, I can milk you when I see an article like this. I can get some views out of this nonsense. But let me explain where this is going. You're sitting up there trying to use people to get the setting that you want on there, because the people on YouTube that are actually playing the games and showing themselves playing the games and reviewing the games honestly are doing a better job than your game journo online bullshit. Because none of you really want to play these games. You want to sit out there and jump on, oh, why buying a PlayStation 5 is bad for the environment and supports Donald Trump. Nobody wants to listen to your political bullshit because you're CNN's rejects. And yes, that is a very good insult because CNN is already dog shit to begin with. Nobody wants political takes in this industry. Nobody wants any political takes. Let me tell you something. Sonic Fox is one of the best Mortal Kombat players in the system. If some chick walks in there with one arm and rainbow hair, who is a nobody, and she stomps the crap out of him, we're not making fun of her. We're congratulating her for overcoming her disability of having one arm. But we're also making fun of Sonic Fox for losing to a one-armed chick. Okay? They're like, dude, she might as well have had her arm tied behind her back because, dang, she had to be brought down a peg just to be brought down to your level, dude. And I'm not making fun of Sonic Fox. I'm just using that example. That's what people would say. This is what gamers would do. We're not going to sit there and jump on, oh, I can't believe this one-armed chick came in here and beat Sonic Fox, but she's not even a real gamer. No, that's not what would happen. We'd be sitting there looking at Sonic Fox going, dude, you got soft, man. You got soft. Look at this chick comes in here, whoops your butt. You got soft, man. Anyway, tell me what y'all think about this in the comments about the games journos finally finding a way to get their easy mode, their games journos mode, by emotionally blackmailing companies. Tell me what you think about it. Do you think it will help games? Maybe you think it will. Maybe you think it won't. I'd love to hear from y'all in the comments. Anyway, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And as always, I'm the Last Raider. Stay safe, stay frosty. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye now.